traditional custodians of the lands on which we deliver our production of Say That Again. We acknowledge their enduring connection to the lands, waterways and communities, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Good evening. Welcome to the Australian premiere of Say That Again, adapted from the best-selling book by Cullen. In 2019, Bobblehead Nanna Productions brought you the Australian premiere of Kinetics, about a 50-year-old woman diagnosed just after her birthday. Today, we meet 62-year-old Benedict, recently diagnosed. We ask that you please refrain from taking photos. Please also turn your mobile phones off, except if they have your medication reminders set. If that is the case, please put your phones on silent. Thank you.
After the performance, there will be a short Q&A session for any questions you may have about the cast or Parkinson's. While we are setting up for this, we are giving you time to reflect on the performance by listening to a song with a familiar tune that you may recognise, but you won't recognise the lyrics. They have been changed by the director Sue to capture the feelings of someone who has lived with this incurable degenerative disease for over 13 years. With the permission of the original lyricist, Tim Rice, we can bring you this song, beautifully performed by the extremely talented local band, the Godwins. The new lyrics are printed on the inside cover of your programs. After the bows, please stay seated and enjoy this song, which received a high commendation from the judges at the recent 2023 World Parkinson's Congress in Barcelona. Please sit back and enjoy. Say That Again.
The park looks much the same as it did yesterday. People walking their dogs, children playing, joggers jogging and so on. But I'm not the same. Yesterday I thought the tiny tremors, the dreadful fatigue and the occasional loss of balance were just symptoms of my advancing old age. I noticed my keyboard skills were becoming hit and miss, mostly miss. It was all getting rather tiresome. So a few weeks back, I went to see my doctor. And yesterday, the consultant told me that I have Parkinson's disease. I don't object so much to the Parkinson's. It's the disease part that bothers me. I suppose I had my suspicions. I knew that something wasn't right. I asked the consultant if I'd end up a doddering old fool. Well, more of a doddering old fool than I am already. Oh, for goodness sakes, I even asked him if I would rush to the loo all the time and start drooling. He didn't seem embarrassed by my question. Actually, he was very matter-of-fact about it all. Apparently, it isn't curable. But the tablet regime works very well these days, so he said. Well, whoopee for that. He told me there are 4 stages, and that I might be in the first stage for a very long time, so long as I live as healthily as I can by doing gentle exercise, not smoking and drinking much less alcohol. Oh, for goodness sakes, the words gentle and exercise are a contradiction in terms for a start. What sort of exercise am I expected to do if I keep stumbling over nothing every few steps? They've got no bloody idea.
Wow, great shoes.
Thank you. They're my midlife crisis shoes. And I've given this up.
Oh, I should think so too. Oh, it's bloody freezing, isn't it?
It certainly is. I have no idea why I'm sitting out here when I could be drinking hot coffee somewhere warm. But this place makes me somewhat feel alive. Nature and all that, you know.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Isn't running about in winter terribly bad for you?
Oh no, of course it isn't. Quite the opposite, in fact.
Oh, I see.
That's bad for you. You can't dispute that.
I know it is. That's why I have given it up. The doc said it had to go, and so it has.
Well, pardon me for saying, but you appear to be still smoking.
Am I? How extraordinary. I have no idea how that happened. Having a lifetime, I'm afraid. You have the most glorious laugh.
Oh, do you really think so? It just kind of comes out. There's not much I can do about it.
Don't do anything about it.
Oh well, gotta go. Have a good day then.
Good day.
See you then.
Yes, yes, see you.
Don't sit there too long, will you?
No, I won't. I'll just watch the little ducks for a few more minutes. You wear yourself out doing that. It's terribly hard on the joints.
Oh, I've got lots of energy, so don't you worry about my joints. You will stop smoking that cigarette, won't you?
Yes, yes, I've given it up, honestly. All that getting out of breath can't be good for you, especially in this weather.
Actually, it's very good for me, I'll have you know. Doesn't the park look stunning like this?
Actually, I hadn't really noticed. How awful of me.
Do you think the ducks feel the cold?
My daughter used to ask me that.
Oh, and what did you tell her?
Well, I would pretend I could understand them, you know, when they quacked. And I explained their feathers were like a warm blanket, and they were lovely and cosy, even in the snow.
Oh, I like that.
Do you? She believed every word I said in those days.
I'm sure she still does.
Thank you for saying that. Do you run here every day?
Most days, unless I don't feel all that.
Say that again.
Oh, not well. Feeling not well.
Ah, yes.
But I'm usually here. Not sure I've seen you before though.
I don't normally walk in the winter. I'm a fair weather walker, I'm afraid. But the last couple of days I've felt like coming here to see the ducks again.
Because it makes you feel closer to your daughter.
I'm very perceptive of you.
Thanks. I'm Helen, by the way. So you can call me now.
I'm Benedict Marshall. But you can call me Mr. Marshall.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Marshall.
I'm only kidding. Call me Benedict, please.
No, you said Mr. Marshall, so Mr. Marshall it is. Oh well, I better keep moving. Don't you get cold.
Damn it. I'll be going in a minute. Places to go, people to see. I'm sorry, it's cramp, old age creeping up on me, the years passing with ever increasing rapidity.
Did you swallow a dictionary earlier?
No, I talk like this all the time. I just can't help it.
You're funny.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You ought to come jogging with me one morning.
Jogging, my dear girl, I need nourishment, not punishment.
You also need gloves. Here, take mine.
No, I couldn't possibly.
Oh, take 'em. Otherwise I'll give you an almighty shove and you'll end up face down in the snow. In any case, getting frozen can't be good for you at your age.
Oh, what a nerve, young lady. Oh, fair enough. They'll be too small.
Oh no, I've got quite big hands. Ah, that's stretch. There we go. Oh, not too bad.
Thank you. Well, I'd better be going now before it gets too slippery for me to walk.
Which way are you going? I'll walk with you.
Well, I live in that direction, just by the gate over there.
Oh, come on, lean on me, Mr. Marshall.
Thank you, that's very kind.
What's wrong with your legs? Is it the cold? Have you got arthritis?
No.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked. Please forgive me.
Say anything you like.
No, I should mind my own business. Always been nosy. Come on, lean on me, Mr. Marshall, a bit more. You go arse over apex.
Say that again.
You go arse over apex.
Pass over apex. What an interesting phrase. I like it.
Do you? And you seem like such a cultured man.
Well, I'm not so much cultured as posh, I'll have you know.
You can be cultured and posh, can't you?
Yes, okay then. I have to admit I am cultured and posh, but don't hold that against me. My house is that one over there, the one with the attic windows.
Oh, no. Not that one. I don't believe it. That is my favourite house. Bloody hell. You are posh. It's fabulous.
I think so, how very kind. But I don't know how I'm going to manage the garden.
Oh, I've always wanted to live there. Oh, and now I've met you. All my life I've walked by and tried to imagine what it looked like inside.
It used to be the rectory, but no prayers have been said inside since I've lived there. Have you got time for a coffee?
Oh, that's very nice of you. But I've got to get to work.
Yes, of course. Saturday then, or Sunday?
Saturday would be good. Are you sure?
I'm more than sure. Come round at 11 o'clock if that is convenient.
Saturday at 11 it is then. Now, I won't be running tomorrow, so save yourself a walk in these conditions. Stay inside and keep warm.
Right, yes, I will, Doctor. Thank you.
I hope your legs feel better later.
Fingers crossed.
Bye, Mr. Marshall.
Goodbye now. See you on Saturday. Now, do come through.
Oh, this is a dream come true for me. I've always wanted to see inside this house. I can't believe I'm actually doing this.
Well, I hope it doesn't disappoint you.
How could it? Are you going out?
No, why do you say that?
Well, you dress so perfectly.
Well, don't tell anyone, but I always dress like this. I can't stand leisure wear.
You look wonderful.
Thank you. This is the conservatory, which isn't as old as the rest of the house, and over there is a study. Through there, the kitchen and dining room.
Oh, it's fantastic. You must sit in here and think you're in heaven.
Well,
Oh, you must be so happy here.
I have been, but to be honest, I don't.
Aren't you happy here now?
Well, that's rather hard to answer. All I think about at the moment is how many stairs there are and how long it takes me to move from one large wretched room to the other, and how I will manage if, well, now that I'm getting older.
Why are you worried? Sorry. I shouldn't have asked. Just ignore me. Pretend I'm not here. Pretend I'm on holiday.
What an interesting expression. I have no intention of pretending you're not here and on holiday, because I'm very glad that you're here. The way you ask your questions makes me want to answer you as directly as I am able to. But the truth is, I often haven't a clue how I feel lately. Please, sit down now.
Well, you must be the happiest man alive living here in this old house with its history and cricket floorboards and ghosts. Oh, and all these books. Have you read them all?
I'm afraid I have.
No, really. Oh, it must be like living in a library. Wonder you talk as if you'd swallowed a dictionary. Well, you've probably even read the dictionary from cover to cover.
I probably have. I'll go and put the kettle on. The kitchen is just through here. Do you want to see the bedrooms? Because they're on the next floor. I'll leave you to go up on your own if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't have to see the bedrooms. This'll do. I get the picture, Mr. Marshall. I'm very envious. Often wondered what the park looked like from one of these windows. Now I know. Oh, it's stupendous, thank you.
Don't be envious.
And the little rooms right at the top. Are they bedrooms too? They look so quaint from the outside.
One is a tiny guest bedroom, the other is a small bathroom.
Is this your daughter?
Oh yes, that's Beth.
Oh, she looks very much like you.
That's the latest one of her. She's almost 30. I'm hoping she'll come home for her birthday. She's in New York.
Oh, New York? That's a coincidence. I'm going out there soon to appear in a review. Maybe I could look her up.
Yes, I would like her to meet you. When are you going?
Well, next month. It's only a small role, but it might lead to other work. Anyway, your daughter really does look like you.
Poor kid.
Don't be daft. You have a very distinguished face.
No. When was the last time you had your eyes looked at professionally? My face is one of those easily missed in a crowd. Thank you. That's the second compliment you've paid me, and I haven't had any in 20 years.
Oh, I don't believe that. You have something very rare.
And what on earth can that be?
Class, gravitas, and charisma.
I don't know what to say, except I'm grateful for your kind words.
Oh, and a lack of ego, which is quite something considering all these awards.
But one doesn't have to be particularly bright to win those, just lucky.
Oh no, luck may come into it. You have to be pretty clever to win all these. Are you a writer then?
I'm afraid so. Well, I used to be anyway.
Why used to be?
Because that's how I feel. The man who wrote those plays is a stranger to me now. I look back at him with some amusement, some warmth, and some shame.
Do you write now?
No, I'll finish making the coffee.
What are your plays about?
They're comedies.
That doesn't surprise me.
What makes you say that?
Because you're funny, Mr. Marshall. You don't think you are, but you are, even when you don't mean to be. There's something about your eyes, your manner of speaking. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I find you funny.
Well, thank you. I think that's a compliment.
Why don't you write now?
Because I have nothing to say.
Of course you have.
No, really, that part of my life is over.
How come? You're still alive. Why don't you write about your life now? There must be something.
Not really.
I'm sure you could if you wanted to.
Is persistence or stubbornness your greatest virtue?
Both. Well, one of those, actually. Now answer me, please.
I'm not sure I can answer because I don't know how I feel.
Are we going to be friends? Would you like us to be friends?
That would be lovely to be your friend.
I'd like that too. But let's start off by confiding in each other, shall we? You've got something wrong with you, haven't you? I could guess, but I won't. 'Cause that's the first thing you can get off your chest if you like. Maybe you don't want to. Tell me why you can't write. I'd be interested.
Your bold question deserves an honest answer. I can't write at the moment because I don't find anything particularly humorous. In fact, I don't feel much about anything. My emotions appear to be asleep. I feel frozen. I have a disease.
Parkinson's.
Yes, it's that obvious, is it? The only part I think about is the disease.
It's only a word.
Yes, but there is power in that word now.
So if your emotions are asleep, you won't have any feelings about having Parkinson's then?
That's a good point. How clever of you.
How does it make you feel to have it then?
I'm terrified
Terrified of living with it?
of getting incapacitated, drooling, not being able to articulate, falling, shaking, being dependent, being assigned a nurse, all of that and more.
I bet. Telling your daughter.
Yes, and telling Beth.
I think, Mr. Marshall, every time we meet, we should have fun. You need fun.
You think so? What about you?
Oh, I could always do with fun.
Fun sounds wonderful, but I'm not sure how we're going to achieve it though.
I'd like to try writing a play. I tell you what, you help me write one, and I'll teach you how to dance.
Dance? I can't even walk properly, let alone dance.
Of course you can dance.
You're presupposing that I want to learn how to dance.
I'm not asking you to do a grand jeté across the living room.
I'm not even sure what that is.
A little Fred Astaire would be right up your street.
I can't imagine anything worse.
Don't start being a grumpy old man.
But I am a grumpy old man and I can no longer dance, honestly.
So you could dance once.
Very clever.
I'm telling you, you can still dance. Now let's shake off this grumpiness and let's cheer ourselves up by dancing.
Do we have to?
Come on, Mr. Marshall, don't you feel like dancing?
Ah,
It'll be good for you, you know.
good in what way?
Good for your strength, your balance, and your posture.
You'll have to forgive me if I look rather doubtful about my ability to balance, or even give the impression of having anything related to good posture, because I fear it would all be quite random.
What are you on
I
about?
have absolutely no idea.
you must have danced in your youth. What was it then? The Charleston?
But Charleston, I am not that old.
First of all, Mr. Marshall, you're going to learn how to hold yourself properly.
Would you like to rephrase that?
You need to dance for your health and your well-being. Right. Now hold in your core.
Holding my what?
You know your abdominals.
Oh, those. I don't think I've got any.
Hang on. Oh, blimey. You've got some heavy classical stuff here.
Well, I am posh, you know.
Ah, here we go. Swan Lake.
The Dying Swan, how very appropriate for me.
Right. Now, holding your core, I mean abdominals, feet apart, soft knees, and a neutral spine. That's right. And then step forward and point your toe. Bring your arms up. And then onto your toes, side to side, and foot behind to bring your arm down.
Good grief, what
And then you go side to side the other way, bring your foot behind and arm down. Come on, Mr. Marshall, you can do it.
I'm trying.
Relax for a moment. Let's find something a little easier to move to.
Something a little easier to move to would be good.
What we got here? Oh no, not that. Oh, this one will be good, I reckon. Here we go. Oh, got to take the other one off. There we go.
What do you want me to do now, Nanna?
Oh, dance. Dance for your life. Oh, how does that make you feel?
Free. It made me feel free.
Excellent. And it doesn't matter if you get it wrong.
I suppose you're right, but some semblance of an art form would be better than nothing at all.
What are you on about?
I have absolutely no idea. I feel quite lightheaded and almost boyish.
Oh, you're funny. Relax. Come on, I think that's enough excitement for one day, don't you?
Yes, you're right. I enjoyed it though.
That just proves my point, doesn't it?
And what point is that now?
I can do anything you set your mind to, with or without Parkinson's.
I'll remember that.
Promise.
Yes, I promise.
Anyway, you're bloody brilliant. Next time I'm here, we'll try some boxing.
What? Again?
Boxing, you know?
Now I know I must be going mad.
Oh, boxing's good for your balance, and it helps with other things too. Don't you worry. Leave it to me. In the meantime, don't you dare give up.
No.
Alright, I must be off. Thanks for the coffee. Now, I'm not running tomorrow, I'm visiting my mum. So I'll see you in maybe a week. But don't come out if it's too cold.
I'll see you out. Please visit any time. I'm here most days on and off.
Oh, no, you stay there. Thank you for letting me see inside your beautiful home, Mr. Marshall.
It's been my pleasure now. Are you trying to catch your death, Sydney?
It's not that cold. It's a bit fresh. Leave the sons over the yard, are may, Benedict?
Certainly is. I take it Sheila is out.
Ah, she's gone to visit the old girl. Here's a hope I live to be 98.
Go and put the kettle on.
Ah, coffee and a drop of whiskey, eh?
Most certainly.
Hey, was that the friend of Bet's I saw visiting you?
Is your nose permanently pressed against the window pane, or do you occasionally give it a break?
Well, it's not a friend of Bet's, then life in the old dog yet.
Not much, Sydney, not much. My legs are frozen. I can't seem to warm them up today.
Are you not having one?
Oh, why not? You're a long time dead. We'll forget the coffee.
So, when are you coming to see my back passage?
Would you please rephrase that, Sydney?
Oh, when are you coming to see my fully tiled back passage?
Well, as it's fully tiled, that is different. Just make sure you never speak about your back passage in anybody else's house.
I never talk bollocks to anyone else. Just you, mate.
I'm quietly flattered, Sydney.
So, what's been happening, Benedict?
Nothing much, Sydney, as you can see.
Don't give me that. You've something up your sleeve.
Think so? I really have no idea what you mean.
Is something bothering you lately? You look very distracted.
Think so? I really don't know what you mean.
You do. Something or someone is making you tired.
I have a disease.
Any joke?
I only wish it were, Sydney.
Well, what kind of disease?
Parkinson's disease.
That's not a disease. I thought you had malaria or something.
That makes me feel so much better.
Well, that's hard luck then, mate, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How can I help?
You can help by just being yourself, speaking before you think and treating me with as little respect as you normally do. In other words, carry on as usual.
That's fine by me, mate. That's fine by me. Here, I tell you what. We'll have another one. Are you allowed?
Oh, I don't see why not.
I forgot though. You didn't ask the quack, did you?
No, I was a little distracted by his twitching eyes. A neurologist who twitches badly is rather unfortunate.
Oh. He had twitching eyes?
He did, yes.
Hey, how did they twitch?
If you think I'm going to sit here and mimic his twitching eyes, you've got another thing to come.
Hey, you know, I used to have nervous twitches when I was a little fella. Hey, would you like to see something?
No, I absolutely do not.
Well, did you ever twitch?
No, but as you have kindly remarked, I'm more than making up for it now.
Ah, well, you're not really twitching. You do have a few jerks and shakes.
That gives me so much comfort.
Well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I think the sun is still over that yard there, hey?
Indeed it is, Sydney.
Hey, now another one yourself?
Oh, I don't think a couple to warm the hearth in the middle of winter is going to make much difference to my precarious state.
There's the disease that gives you the shakes, is it? You know, I had noticed, but well, I didn't say anything. I was putting it down to your age.
Well, I'm not as old as you, Sydney.
Bloody hell, though. Wouldn't it be terrible all the same if you couldn't have a few drinks?
You know me too well.
Well, that's gonna happen though, like, in the future.
Let's not mention the future. It's a place that I'm fearful of.
Ah, sure it can be controlled.
I'm sure it can. Now, Sydney, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, change the subject, eh? Well, for one thing, I finished off my fully tiled back passage. Made a bit of a bags, to tell you the truth, but I like to keep active.
I hadn't noticed.
Well, I do. I like to be active and know I can do things. Don't have much else to be doing. So, I like to keep active as much as I can. Hey, I even knocked on the door a couple of times last week, but must have been out.
Or asleep.
Fancy coming in for a bit of lunch tomorrow?
What's on the menu?
Oh, please yourself, Dan, please yourself. But beef as it is.
Oh, as Sheila's beef is the best this side of the Thames, I shall grace you with my presence.
And I even bought a beautiful bottle of red.
Sydney, you must stop encouraging me.
A couple of glasses won't do you any harm.
How do you know? Are you an expert on my disease?
Well, not really. But I tell you, I'll get Sheila to look up on the internet, shall I?
No, I'd rather not know, to be perfectly honest.
Right. So, who was she?
Who is who?
She's a young thing with the fair hair.
I don't know, to be honest.
You don't know? You just picked her up. Dirty old reprobate. I don't know how you do it, Benedict.
I don't know how I do it either, because I don't anymore. I met her by the duck pond. Her name is Nell, and she runs, and that is all I know. She took pity on me because I could hardly stand up straight in the snow. She helped me back here, and she lent me her gloves. She couldn't believe I lived here. Apparently, this has always been her favourite house. We had a coffee together, and that was it.
You better watch out. She'll be after your money.
Sydney, don't be such a cynic.
Well, if she was after anything else, she'd choose a younger man, wouldn't she?
I'm glad to see you're taking me at my word and not thinking before you speak. Anything else, meaning?
You know.
I can assure you that I do not.
You do.
For your information, I am not the slightest bit interested in anything remotely physical because I couldn't actually take part in anything remotely physical. I have very few of those feelings now. My joie de vivre has gone. The worrying thing is, I really don't care.
Oh, Benedict, that's not like you at all.
But that's what I'm trying to explain, Sydney. I'm not me anymore. I'm someone else.
What someone is that?
I really have no idea, but that's what I've got to find out, because that is who I shall be for the rest of my life, and I'd like to get to know him.
You think too much. That's the trouble with you always. You know, you academics, you overanalyze everything. It's better to be a twat like me. Listen, Benedict, you are no different.
Maybe not on the outside, but on the inside, I feel very different.
Who the bloody hell are you on the inside then?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Sydney. I don't know.
Is it the Parkinson's that makes you feel like that?
Not only the disease. I've had these feelings a couple of years now. I haven't grown into myself very well. I keep holding on to both the young man and the middle-aged man I was, but now I'm someone else.
I think I know what you mean. You know, I had a bad depression and I realised I wasn't young anymore. Wanted to colour my hair, buy a sports car and all that. Actually though, I don't mind being over 70 now. It's a relief not to have to worry about the belly and the hair, and women. It's liberating in a funny sort of way.
I hope I get to feel like that. I hadn't noticed you weren't bothered about your belly anymore.
But then I hope you find out who you are, so you can describe yourself to me.
Thank you.
And I hope the new you isn't going to be much different than the old you. I like you as you are, and we still be friends.
Thank you again, and of course we shall stay friends.
Here, let's have a top up and we drink to age.
Sydney, you're a bad influence on me.
Hey, off, mate. It's the other way round. Sheila's back. Here. Listen, would you fancy coming around for some tea and cake?
No, thank you. Sheila feeds me enough. What time is lunch tomorrow?
1:30. And don't be late.
Well, that all depends on the traffic.
Hey, listen, you'll upset the wife.
The wife, Sydney? She's not a piece of furniture like the table, the chair. It's my wife. My wife, not the wife. That is how you should refer to that saintly woman who puts up with you.
Don't know how I'm supposed to say it, but I can't change the habit of a lifetime.
I have just had an idea.
Oh, you better not do too much of that.
I'm going to call my disease the Sydney after you. Shall I tell you why?
Yeah, I know why. Because you're never going to get rid of either of us.
Sydney, you're not as daft as you look. Now bugger off and leave me in peace.
Cheerio, mate, and see you later.
Oh my God, I'm so
It's
sorry.
quite all right. No harm done, honestly.
Are you sure? You look...
I always look like this. Slightly vexed, my hair all over the place. But nothing to do with you, I assure you. And I'm wearing my best brothel crews, which is why you didn't hear me come up to the bench. I'm fine, honestly.
I'm always bumping into people because I'm never concentrating properly. These flowers are just so beautiful, and I had to get some photographs. I'm Dorothea, by the way, but that's a bloody ridiculous name, so Thea will do. Thea Stevens. I'm sorry I trod on your foot.
Benedict. Benedict Marshall. Pleased to meet you, Thea.
Hello, Benedict.
Hello.
It's such a beautiful day, I just had to get out.
I agree.
I come here most days, especially in the spring and summer, but winter has its charms too.
That's true. But I don't think I've ever noticed you here before.
Oh no, sometimes I only stay for a short time, just long enough to get a few photos and then I shoot home. I live over there. Do you live close by?
Yes, I do, next to the church, just by the gate at the bottom.
You're not in the old rectory, are you, Benedict?
Yes, I am, as it happens.
Really? I've always wondered who lives there.
Oh, goodness me, I have just had a feeling of deja vu. Do you mind if I sit down?
No, of course not. I hope you didn't mind me asking if you live in the rectory, only your face fell a mile when you asked me.
Well, it's very observant of you. I can't help what my face does these days, I'm afraid. It kind of does its own thing.
Your garden has those beautiful tall silver birches at the bottom. I live directly behind you. I'm your neighbour.
Oh, lovely.
Funnily enough, I think I saw the top of your head the other day.
Oh, dear, that is not so lovely.
So, Benedict, do you come here often?
Yes, I do, very often.
I absolutely love this park.
Yes, so do I.
So what do you do?
Oh, very little if I can help it.
Good for you.
And you?
Well, I used to be a clinical psychologist.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it sounds so grand, doesn't it? I'm retired now. Early retirement, I'll have you know. I now work part-time in a local bookshop. I enjoy dealing with the different customers who come in.
Do you try and analyse them?
Well, sometimes I do, yes.
Do you agree with Freud?
Well, that every human action is down to sex or repressed sexuality.
Yes, something akin to that.
Nah.
Thank God for that.
I do think that we're all products of our early childhood, though.
Yes, I would agree, and not that I know anything about it.
Well, maybe not professionally, but everyone's entitled to their opinions. Just tell me to shut up if I slip into young mode.
No, I think it's a fascinating subject. I just hope you can't see through me.
Yes, well, I can. But don't worry, you pass my test.
Test? Am I being tested then?
Yes, I can't stand snobs, bullies, arrogant or condescending people. And you are none of the above.
Thank God for that too.
You do have something on your mind, though. I haven't quite worked out what that is yet, but of course it's none of my business, so I'm going to keep it to myself.
I hope you don't think my puppet-like walking and stumbling is down to alcohol. It's not a secret. I have Parkinson's disease.
Oh no, it isn't that. It's something else. I am sorry about the Parkinson's, though. Nobody would know. Maybe a slight shaking under the skin when you shook my hand. But I just presumed you found me so gorgeous I set you a quiver. My daughter would be interested, though. She's studying medicine in Scotland.
My goodness, well that is wonderful.
Well, yes it is, but she's a long way away. I miss her.
My daughter is in New York, even further away.
Well, that depends whether you get stuck in the motorway in bad weather and heavy traffic, as I always seem to do.
Perish the thought.
You have a quiet sadness about you. I think you've got something else bothering you, other than the Parkinson's. Are you missing someone, other than your daughter, I mean?
My goodness, you are astute.
Is she married? Is that the problem?
No, she isn't. You must have been very good at your job.
Oh, well, it isn't difficult to work out.
She's going away soon, and she's much younger than me.
Ah, does that bother you?
But she's young enough to be my daughter, a little. The Parkinson's worries me more.
Yes, of course. But I can help you look at that in a different way. It's part of what us psychologists do.
Well, I would be interested to hear how.
This young woman you've met,
No.
have you told her that you care for her?
No, I wouldn't want to embarrass her, and I don't want to do anything that's going to spoil our friendship.
She's a very lucky girl.
Why lucky?
Well, she's lucky to have someone love her in such an unselfish way.
Isn't that what real love is?
Yes, we like to think so.
Thea, I can't quite believe I've said all that.
Well, to make you feel better, let me give you some information about me. As I said earlier, I live in that great big house there. Far too big for me, but my husband left me very comfortably off.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. When did he pass?
Oh, he's not dead. He buggered off with another woman. He traded me in for a silicone-enhanced model, of bastard. At least he had the grace to feel guilty about it. His Catholic upbringing, you know. He left me with the house and quite a bit of money.
I did the same for my wife, not through guilt, but because I didn't have the guts to fight over money. Much too sordid. She could have had the lot as long as I had enough to live on, but shh, don't tell her that.
Isn't marriage a bloody silly thing, don't you think?
I do. It may suit some people, like my dearest friend and neighbour Sydney, but not many, including me.
So, how long have you had the Parkinson's?
I really don't know. I was diagnosed in February, but I would calculate a couple of years before that. It took that long to summon up the courage to go and see my doctor.
Oh, you men, I don't know.
Yes, weak as dishwater.
It must have come as a shock, though.
Yes and no. I knew that something was wrong, but I never imagined it would be something like this.
And I believe the side effects of the tablets aren't that good either.
Yes, they're a barrel of laughs.
So, what causes Parkinson's?
They really don't know. The medical profession knows very little about it.
Well, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yes, deep down in your heart, tell me the first thought that springs into your mind.
Frustration, regret, longing, stress.
Aha! In other words, your mind and body were out of sync. I think that's the cause of all disease.
But then a psychologist would think that.
But I'm not your average psychologist.
I can tell.
Can you? Thank God for that. I never want to be just average.
Nor me.
You could never be average. Not with that voice.
Thank you.
So, what are you going to do now you've got Parkinson's?
I just go on living each day as it comes.
Well, that's good.
I'm not ashamed of my feelings anymore. I would have been once, but not now.
And is that because of the Parkinson's?
Not only the Parkinson's.
This young woman you've met?
Yes.
Now, I must stop asking personal questions. Would you like to come to lunch tomorrow?
Very kind of you.
Oh, go on. Please say you'll come.
All right, yes, I'll come. I'm going to live each day as it comes.
Fabulous. Do you like chicken?
I do.
In that case, we will have chicken mucker.
Chicken mucker. That sounds rather wonderful, I think.
Well, it's just chicken and vegetables chucked in with a load of pasta.
It just happens to be my favourite, especially when somebody else is doing the cooking.
Well, it's been lovely chatting to you. I bet you feel like you've been held hostage. So I'll leave you to your thoughts now. So I'll see you about 12:30. Number 4, by the way.
I'll take a shortcut and hop over the wall.
I'd love to see that.
Yes, me too.
Bye, Benedict. See you tomorrow.
What is it about this bench?
Just listen down out there.
Give me time to get in, Sydney. Why don't you go and put the kettle on while I take off my coat?
Fair enough.
That thunder has gone on for ages. It's quite a storm.
Well, have a good time, did we?
What?
You have a good time when you were out.
Oh, you know.
Oh, I don't know. Come on, tell me. How did it go?
She's quite,
What? Quite what?
sexy.
Sexy? You never said that about Nell.
I haven't said it about Nell because she's so much younger than me and it just sounds a little...
Like a dirty yellow man, eh?
Yes.
Well, did she make a pass at you?
Not really. Well, a little.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't start that again.
I don't know how you do it, Benedict.
I don't do anything, I promise you.
Come on, come on. How did she make the pass?
Sydney!
Come on, how did she make the pass? Tell us.
She told me that I was attractive.
Attractive?
And that she would like to see me again. You know, that sort of thing.
And will you?
See her again? Yes, of course I will, as a friend.
Oh, I bet that's not what she wants. I don't know what you've got, Benedict, but I wouldn't mind having a little bit of a I assure you.
You would still have married Sheila. Nobody else would have put up with you.
I don't know. Hey, how old is she?
Oh, I don't know, early 50s, perhaps, maybe older.
Oh, your age then.
Do you mean more my age than Nanna?
Of course I do.
Let's just say that my daughter and my sister would find her much more acceptable than now, but it's not up to them.
Acceptable as what?
Acceptable as a suitable friend for me, but it's not up to anyone else.
Who'd have thought that?
Just go and get the tea, Sydney. There are biscuits lurking around somewhere.
Hey, how come you found her sexy?
Well, she is a sexy woman.
Yeah, but I thought you said that you didn't have any of those sort of feelings.
Oh,
now.
I know, but I didn't say I found her sexy. I said she is sexy, meaning that most men would find her so.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean.
Well, I can't say that I do. But did you find her sexy?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't given it much thought.
Maybe you should then. You know, she's so upfront with you the first time around. Imagine what it'll be like the second time. Oh, that's you there, mate.
She's not about to throw herself at me, Sydney.
You wanna bet?
Mind you, she did kiss me.
You what?
And that got you.
Missed you? Hey, how did she kiss
Oh,
you?
don't ask ridiculous questions. She just gave me a peck, that's all.
Ah, where did she give you the peck?
She gave me a peck on her sofa.
Very funny.
Actually, it was on the lips, if you must know.
Lips? You do it, Benedict.
Pure, irresistible charisma, I suspect, and if you believe that, you'll believe anything.
Well, you want to do? Well, what happens now?
I like her. Quite thoughtful, funny, good company. She's got a great pair of legs.
A pair of legs? Oh, how do you do it, Benedict?
Calm down, I only said that for your benefit.
You know what I reckon?
No, but you're going to tell me.
Well, I reckon you're secretly in love with Nell. But because of the age difference, you don't want to think like that. But this other woman, this mature woman, you can let your mind run riot out thinking about her. But nobody's gonna look at you as being a dirty old man with regard to her. But he hell, Benedict, you got the best of both worlds.
Sydney, I have told you I have none of those feelings now, and I stand by that. If I had, things might be different.
Oh, I told you.
But that's life, isn't it? I have Parkinson's, and that has stripped me of any physical longing. So Thea will stay a good companion. That's the way it is.
Well, I hope she sees it that way.
She has to.
Well, I'll be off now, Benedict. And look after yourself.
Glad to be of service.
See you later.
Oh, no peace for the wicked.
Hello, Mr. Marshall. Can I come in?
No! My goodness, come in. Come in.
Isn't this weather fantastic? I love walking in the rain.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm so pleased to see you.
Are you going to stand there like a tit in a trance all night?
Say that again.
You weren't.
I'm sorry, my mouth is behaving very badly. Let me take your coat.
Oh, I've got so much to tell you, Mr. Marshall. I'm sorry I've not been round before, but I've been getting ready for America. I've had hardly time to see anyone, not even my mum.
How wonderful to be so busy now. Would you like some tea?
Oh no, thanks. This is just a flying visit. You're looking pretty well, Mr. Marshall.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe your tablets are working at last.
Perhaps, I don't know. I hope so, though.
So do I. Oh, you look absolutely gorgeous. I'd forgotten how gorgeous you are.
Carry on now, you are doing me a power of good.
Well, you are gorgeous. And your voice is as wonderful as ever. How's Sydney?
He's still sitting.
Been playing cards today?
Nobody was here just now telling me how much he loved living next door to me. I don't agree, but there you have it.
What did he mean by that?
Well, he said that I'm always doing something. I don't know, but I was going to tell you about my encounter with a woman after you'd finished telling me all your news, but...
You had an encounter with a woman? Oh, blimey, that sounds interesting. Tell me more.
We met in the park.
Like us?
Yes, dear girl, like us. She trod on my foot as she was taking pictures of the flowers. I was on the usual bench, so I...
Were you okay though?
We chatted for a while about nothing in particular, and then she asked me to lunch, just like that. It surprised me, but I thought, why not? She's a lovely lady, talkative and bubbly, and
What's her name?
Thea, short for Dorothea. But that's a bit of a mouthful. She lives in the house over there. You can see the chimneys from here if you look over there.
Yeah, I can see them. It's amazing, Mr. Marshall. How old is she? Is she married?
Divorced, early 50s, I'd say, but that's just a guess. Oh, she's a lovely lady, very kind and warm. I like her.
Oh, I bet she loves you.
Of course, she probably thought me devastatingly attractive with my stuttering and shaking and the drooling. Don't forget the drooling.
Don't be daft, Mr. Marshall. Nobody notices any of that when they're with you.
Thank you, Nanna.
Are you seeing her again?
I haven't been to lunch with her.
Already?
Yes, today I'd only just got back when Sydney came around and then you arrived. It's been a busy day for seeing people. I expect it will just be Sydney tomorrow.
Blimey, she's really a quick worker. What happened?
What happened? What happened in what sense?
I mean, did you have a good time? What did you think I meant?
Nothing.
What are you looking embarrassed about? Come on, spill the beans.
There's nothing to tell now.
Mr. Marshall, you're hiding something from me. Did she come on to you? She did? Oh, I don't believe it. I mean, I do believe it because I've always said you're gorgeous. I'm not surprised she fancied you. But I was shocked she came on to you so soon. Oh my God, she's brave, isn't she? What did she say? Did she make a lunge at you? Oh, don't look like that. You can tell me.
I'm not being very gentle, Marie. I feel as though I'm being unfair to Thea.
Well, how are you being unfair to Thea? Did you tell Sydney?
Well, yes.
Well, I'm your friend too, aren't I? If you tell Sydney and not me, well, I'm just interested in your life, that's all.
Of course you're my friend, and I sincerely hope you always will be.
And what's the difference in telling me? If you tell Sydney and not me, it makes me feel as if you don't trust me.
Well, yes, I can understand that, and that's not the case, I assure you.
So, are you attracted to her then?
I don't know.
Oh, forget I said anything, please. I shouldn't have asked.
No, it's fine, Nella. I really don't mind. I just felt a little embarrassed, that's all, at my age.
At your age? What's age got to do with it? If you're attracted to someone, age doesn't come into it.
Well, if I'm honest, I'm just as surprised as you are at how quickly she voiced her feelings.
Oh, she actually voiced her feelings for you. My God, she must have been instantly attracted to you. I don't know, I'll leave you alone for a while and some woman tries to get you into her bed.
It wasn't quite like that now.
Did she make any other kind of move on you?
No. Did she make any other move? No, not really.
Did she kiss you?
Not really, just a pet goodbye, you know the sort of thing.
She did kiss you then?
Yes, she kissed me.
Cheeky thing. When are you seeing her again?
Oh, I don't know, I've got no idea, but let's talk about you now. Is there any news of America? I would love to hear.
We leave after the review's finished. 2 days later, in fact. Time seems to be flying.
I won't think about that.
Okay.
Shall we dance now?
Do you mean it? Have you been practicing?
Yes, I have been a bit.
Let's dance together. Let's do the waltz. I love it.
Ah, the waltz I can do. I've been practicing with Sydney.
Oh, no. Really? I bet that looked funny.
You could say that. I like the waltz because it's something I can actually do if I'm pushed around the floor a little.
Yeah, well, you should be able to do it at your age. Right, you have to hold me close. You have to hold me a bit closer than that. Right, straight back, remember?
I'm trying.
Hold your head up.
I'm trying.
We're not trying hard enough. La 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 la. Oh, you're doing brilliantly, Mr. Marshall.
I feel a little,
Slow,
no, a little,
daft,
no, a little,
limp,
no, a little.
whatever it is, who cares?
I agree. Sorry. Sorry.
I have to go now.
Do you have to?
Yeah, I need to learn some lines and practice my songs.
Thanks for coming, Nell. Thanks so much.
Are you pleased to see me then?
Of course, how can you doubt it?
I don't know, I just feel as if...
Go on, as if.
Doesn't matter, it's not important.
It is to me.
I feel as if I've lost you, Mr. Marshall.
Lost me. Lost me? Why would you think that? How have you lost me? Haven't I put over how ecstatic I am to see you? Is it my blank expressionless face?
No, it's not your face. It's a wonderful, distinguished face, as it always is. It's your new companion, who I know by her impulsive actions is already a little in love with you. And that scares me witless.
Now, why would it scare you? And I don't believe for 1 minute she's even the slightest bit in love with me. I don't understand your concern. She is simply a neighbour who invited to me lunch out of kindness, had a little too much red wine, and made a sudden pass at me. That she will probably regret.
But she sounds extremely forward and full on.
Now, please tell me, what is it about Theo that bothers you so much?
You're maybe 62. You haven't learned very much about women in all that time, have you?
Oh, I agree with you there. Women continue to be a mystery to me. But I don't want you to be a mystery, so you're going to have to spell it out for me.
No, I can't. It'll make me seem shallow and stupid. I'll seem like less of a person in your eyes.
I certainly will not, I promise you that it's just not possible. Now, I need to say something.
Go on then.
I'm frightened of being diminished now.
You mean by the Parkinsons?
Yes, I mean by the Parkinsons.
You will never be diminished, Mr. Marshall. Not in my eyes.
Thank you for that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not bothered about being invisible to women now. I'm not the man I used to be, but the future holds so many unknowns.
Yes, but it also holds unlimited possibilities.
Of course. It's just that I wanted to grow older with panache and flair, with dignity, eccentricity. I wanted to be one of those older men who everyone wanted to spend time with because they're fascinating company.
But you are that now. That's exactly who you are. And Parkinson's can't diminish that.
I hope you're right, Mel.
Parkinson's brought us together, remember? I noticed you in the park because of the way you were sitting.
How was I sitting?
Hunched, defeated, haunted. Found it hard to look away.
You mean you wouldn't have noticed me otherwise? Well, I'm cut to the quick now. I thought I was hellishly attractive and irresistible.
Well, I was approaching you from behind, remember?
Well, that's not my best side.
I'll say this only once, Mr. Marshall. You will never be invisible or diminished. Parkinson's will never make you less of a man than you are, now, right at this moment.
When will I see you again? If you have an hour off sometime, do come and see me, won't you?
Yes, of course I will. Even though I have a rival now.
You have no rival and no equal, I assure you.
Really glad you'll have some female company while I'm away. Truly I am.
Please.
And if I'm honest, emotions are such a complex thing.
Please, tell me, what is it about Thea that is bothering you?
You must know, Mr. Marshall. I'm jealous. I know it seems stupid and ridiculous and childish, because we're just friends. But I am. There. Now you know.
Family aside, if you think anyone can replace you in my heart as my friend, you're wrong. Nobody can and nobody will for as long as I live. I hope you believe that.
Do you really mean that?
I mean it with all my heart.
Okay, if you say so. All right, I must go.
Oh, that was a good afternoon, Chief. You come to pester me again.
Benedict, all those women, eh?
I'm ignoring that. Shall we play cards, Sidney?
Oh, I'm not playing cards with you again. You got the perfect face for poker now. That big expression. I never know what you're thinking.
Cruel, Sidney. So if it's not poker, let's dance.
Oh, no, not that again. Not after the last time. Still, I suppose spring is in the air, sun is rising, and if it'll help you, should we give it a go?
I suppose I have to be the woman again?
I have to push you around the floor, don't I?
Charming, Sidney. Now, straight back, pull in your core,
What?
your abdominal muscles.
Oh. Right. What are you doing, Grant? Hey, procrastination.
Say that again.
Procrastination. It's a big word I heard on Radio 4.
And it means?
I don't know what it means.
Well, try this one for size. Propensity.
Bugger off. What does that mean?
It means you have the propensity to say bugger off.
Yeah? Listen here, come on. I'm getting tired of this.
Cards, Sidney.
Sounds more like a, hey, and a drink. Benedict. Let's drink to life.
To life, cheers.
further, I'd like to thank the singer is here tonight, the two singers, Megan and Kim, for the round of applause.
Right, this one. Try this one again. Right, it is the time to draw the raffle. The most important thing for those who bought raffle tickets, for those who didn't, well, you missed out. Kim, would you like to put your hand in and choose the ticket? Is that yours? There's a pink ticket, K for Kim, 41.
Oh, really?
Right, who else would like to? Oh. Thank you. Pink ticket again. I'm assuming they're all pink. And they're K again. I'm assuming they're all K. K 35.
Oh, no.
And I don't know those people at all.
Okay, hope you enjoyed the show. It's a dream of mine. Since I read the book, I thought I've got to put that on as a play. And the actual author lives in England, and she was watching a bit of it over FaceTime. So she said to say, well done to the cast and the crew. Can you hold this? I keep yeah. So is there any questions? We need some questions. Anything about the cast or anything about Parkinson's or whatever?
Now we're doing microphones.
Yeah.
Here you go, that one.
This is for Peter. With your practicing and performing as a person with a condition you don't have, what was, well, as far as we're aware, what was the most, what was the hardest part?
Remembering what to do. But I will say that doing this creates a very tired arm after a while. You have to build your muscles up.
He's moaning about it. Welcome to my
Yeah.
life.
And just to make sure that when I get up, I don't just spring up in what I normally do. Get up the right way, because it's very difficult and the feet won't move. And so just learn that. Just try and remember when you're on stage.
Well, you did very well. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Someone in the afternoon session said, when was he diagnosed? So, he did a great job. Any more questions?
I'm on my way. Run, Maria.
You were talking about how your face didn't show expression anymore. Is that a real thing? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it is a real thing. You get what's called a Parkinson's mask.
Yeah.
And so everything, when you're going off, when you're having an off period, if your face droops and you can't show any expression, it's very hard to smile.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. You talk sort of monotone, very hard to articulate. I have got a TED talk which explains it a lot more. So if you're interested in that, just search on YouTube for TEDx manager Sue Edge Parkinson's, and you'll find it there. It explains a lot as well.
Yeah. And the other thing I was wondering was you said you were saying about how inside he feels numb. Does it affect your feelings as well?
Yeah, apathy is a big part of it. Apathy and depression, massive part. You can't stop, because if you stop, you won't start again. That's why a lot of people are so isolated. So what I try and do is, when people are diagnosed, I try and get them to come to my art classes, my boxing classes, anything I can think of to get them out of the house.
Yeah.
But it's very, very hard to accept, particularly for men, to accept that it's going to happen. So you're in denial for a long time. So if you accept, that doesn't mean you resign to the fact. It means it is what it is, and you have to get up, get through it. And then you adapt what you do to make your acceptance easy. Then you have to adjust the adaptance because it's so degenerative. You have to keep adjusting things all the time.
Yep.
I'm just wondering what's out there as far as equipment for to help you
Well, there's some good things and some bad things. It'd be nice if we had an anti-sway thing. I might be able to talk the microphone. They have, things like where your hands don't work. They have childproof lids on pill bottles. It's great. They have, you use a lot of things that people with arthritis have, like opening things. Beds that go up and down, because when you're in bed, you die, the toilet, you can't, if you're off, you can't get out of bed. So you have to put the bed up so you can sort of slide off. They have sheets, so because you can't turn over in bed, so they have sheets you slide off, but if you wear satin undies with satin sheets, you fall off the bed anyway. So there are some things around there. There's a really good app, the walking app, because when you freeze, you feel when Peter was getting up and his feet were going funny like that. That's called freezing or fascination. And they have this app that gives you a beat. When I'm painting, I can't do dots. I can't do this with my right hand. So I listen to American Idiot by Green Day. It's got the perfect beat, and you can do it. So they do. The girls invented these shoes that have a laser beam shooting out in front of it. So because you can't walk, when you're stuck, you can't move. So with the laser beam going out, you can move. So people are coming up with things all the time.
Sure.
It's right there.
So can you talk us through how you came up with the words for your song?
Yeah, one night I was just sitting there feeling sorry for myself, having a pity party, and I do my best writing at stupid o'clock in the morning, because that's another thing with Parkinson's and insomnia. And I was listening to this song, the original song, and I thought, oh, the words they just come into my head, and I just wrote them down as quick as I could, so they were just flowing out. And that's how I came up with them. And Kim and Megan put it together and made a beautiful song out of it. There's three over there, so you're right with us.
You all take on the job, it would be one morning.
Hi, is this a young person's disease or is it an old person?
When I was diagnosed, I thought it was an old person shaking disease that put you in a wheelchair and killed you. But it's not an old person shaking disease. It doesn't discriminate for age or anything. More men have got it than women. Can I have a drink, please? It's 250, 1 in 250 Australians have got it, so you're safe because I've got it. And it is more, 45% of people having are over 50, but there's something called young onsets. Michael J. Fox was 29, one of my friends was 7, and the youngest person to be diagnosed is 3. So this person who was diagnosed at 7 is now 43, and he's amazing. He does amazing stuff. So it doesn't discriminate at all.
Another question. I hope this is not too personal.
Doesn't matter. I'm very open about it because people need to know.
Do you remember when you weren't like this?
Yes, I remember when I could not get dizzy. It started, I was about 40 when it started. Couldn't sprinkle sugar on my tea, or I couldn't sprinkle sugar on my cereal or stir. Couldn't do this with this hand. And you lose your sense of smell. And then little things happen that you think are a bit weird, but the doctors don't know. Sorry, Sonny. The doctors didn't even consider Parkinson's for me for 2 years. It was all in my head, well, half right. And you just slowly lose yourself. You just one day you wake up, you can't do this, next day you can't do that, a month later you can't do this, but it affects everyone differently. So one of my friends, she's very dyskinetic, very shaky, but I don't tremor. The only time I tremor is when I'm on the phone and I keep turning it off. So, but I get bradykinesia, which means I can't move at all. So it was really nice to be able to move when I wanted to, but there's the breaks. So yeah, there's a story in the back of the program. There's a where people asked me about it, and I compared it to the Wizard of Oz. So if you want to read that, that's quite enlightening. Any more?
It seemed like the main character was quite worried about telling his family that he had Parkinson's. Was that something difficult for you?
Yeah, it was very difficult to tell my mum and dad because my dad had passed away, and I had this horrible thought about I was glad he wasn't here because it would upset him so much. My mum was suitably upset, and but I didn't want to hide it because I knew things were happening and I knew people were interested. And then I was more worried about telling my grandkids, so I decided to find a book to teach them, and there wasn't a book written for kids, so I wrote one, and it's outside. It's called My Bobblehead and Nanna, and so telling them was very, very hard. Lucky Mandy, my sister Mandy, was with me when I was diagnosed, and I was in shock, so she drove me home, and that was more in shock because I'd driven up. And then I told my kids straight away that day. There was other people trying to hide it, but you can't hide what I'm doing now. So yeah, it's very, very difficult.
How long from diagnosis or from the doctor did the symptoms become prominent?
Well, with me, I started off the first year I was on tablets 8 hourly, and of that I got 7 hours of good time and 1 hour off. Now I'm going off every 2.5 hours, so I have to have tablets every 2.5 hours. Some people it progresses really fast, like Benedict said he could be in stage 1 for a long time. Another friend of mine's had it 4 years and she's incapacitated now. So it's different for everybody. Another friend's had it 15 years and he's just going bad now. So, and I've had it for, I don't know, I've had it for longer than I've been diagnosed, but I was deteriorating before then.
Can I just stop?
Yep.
Has your medication for Parkinson's changed over the years? Because, I mean, Anne's has changed, and it doesn't really seem to have made a great deal of difference.
The best medication is the one that was developed in 1958. That's the most effective one at the moment, still. There's different ones coming, different ones suit different people. A friend of mine's on Cinemat, I can't take that. Cifrol gives me terrible nightmares, so I can't take that. But Madapar works really well. And now I'm on a mixture of slow release and quick release, and then I have a quick release, which I took tonight, because that's, if I'm really bad, I can just give myself a boost. But the next step, probably by next year, I'll be having a duodopa pump, where it's got a tube straight into your duodenum, and it pumps in continuously. So there's good quality of life there, but you've got a pump hanging off you. So.
Can I quickly just ask, you said a quick release?
Yeah, Madapar quick release.
Yeah.
That if I take one of them cellular tests, it's Madapar quick release. It's called. Madapar rapid, yeah.
What's the research into medicinal marijuana?
That's really good. It's not for my bradykinesia, because I'm mainly bradykinesic. If you've got dyskinesia and you're flying all over the place, like your arms are going out and hitting people, it's very good for that. Makes you sleep good. But when you sleep good, you have to go to the toilet. And it's very hard to get awake. So it's very, very good for dyskinesia. It's very, very good for cramping with your legs. because at once with the dystonia in your feet, the toes try and kiss your heels all the time. And a friend of mine just fractured 7 bones in her feet the other day because they're going so bad. But the marijuana stops that.
You've done a lot of activism before Parkinson's, but how hard was that to do whilst you were diagnosed?
I was a teacher, and when I lost my class, I lost my identity, so I wanted to teach people about something, and so it's very hard. The apathy is really hard. Once you get past the apathy, you're fine. You gives you something to do. My kids and my friends are always telling me to slow down, but I'm too scared to slow down because I might stop and then I might start again.
I think you were my pre-project teacher, actually.
I would have been. I worked out the other day, I've taught 1,700 kids.
I'm a teacher too. I just want to thank you so much for using what has happened to you in such a positive way to give us all a night's entertainment, and not just entertainment, but we've learned such a lot as well. So thank you very much.
I just want to let you know too, Parkinson's nurses is what this night's all about. We've worked 9 Parkinson's nurses who are our Earth Angels. They are brilliant, but the government pays for 3.5 and we have to pay for the rest. So that's why we've had the fundraising notes if you came on quiz night. And tonight, all your money goes straight to the Parkinson's nurses.
I'll speak loud, it's okay. I want to ask the question, I don't understand Parkinson's at all. What causes it? I mean, I can see the movement, but I really don't have a
Well, Peter was right when he said they don't know. They don't know what it causes. They're thinking now it starts in the gut. And the only way to be 100% sure you've got it is to cut into your brain. You've got to be dead for that. And I didn't want to die just to prove the point. So 99% sure that's what it is. So they discount everything else before you say you've got Parkinson's. But everyone has a tremor of some description, even if it's just a tiny one. But 45% of them actually have no noticeable tremor. Peter did a great job with his nose. Did you notice his tremor?
Yes. Tremors,
No, there's 41 different symptoms.
Oh, that's what
There's constipation, sexual going downness.
I have none of those feelings.
The funny thing is though, when you're on a dopamine agonist, which just comes after your manpower and stuff, they can make you very obsessed with things, and the foremost common things the doctor told me was gambling addiction, spending addiction, adrenaline addiction, and sex addiction. And my boyfriend was very excited. But I got painting addiction. So you see some of I work on things outside. Yeah, but there's 41 things. Yeah, Cullen's another one. Drawing is terrible. It's alive in your mouth. Can't think of any now.
Can you explain about when your feet curl up?
Yeah, that's called dystonia. They have been experimenting sticking Botox in your foot when it's crumbling, but that's not really good for a foot that's not always like that. It weakens the muscles, so they tend to shy away from putting Botox in there because once my foot is massaged, my lovely support lady's massaged, then it comes good again. It's only when you're going off that you get the dystonia. Please don't judge a book. Don't judge us as being drunk. I've been accused of being drunk because I just look like I was walking on. Sally and I were out the other day. I kept falling into people, and we went to the pub. And I came out of the pub, and you should have seen the looks I got because I couldn't walk straight. So yeah, be careful. Don't judge people.
I just have one little question. Miranda girl, where'd you get your pants?
Oh, look, I've just had a whole new fashion design happened by Sue herself. You can explain that, can't you?
Yeah, Sally and I bought the op shops. And we found these pants in the op shop, had to have them, she wanted them for herself, but I said no, she didn't. Miranda's got to have them first. So this whole outfit was $2.50.
Miranda was waiting for someone to ask that question.
Oh, I'm just so rapt, thank you. So important in the context of the whole evening.
So is that everything?
So we both nurses and we both specialise in
It may not work.
That's right, she got
we're
it.
both nurses and
No,
we're
that's
both
So we're both nurses and well, all three of us are health professionals and we're also in gerontology specialty and studying different types of diseases and stuff, and what we want to know is what would make it better from your perspective for us to look after you if you were in hospital. Like, what could we do to make it better for you?
This is a great question. We have to have our medicine on time every time. If we don't have it on time, we go off and we can't get back on again. A number of times you go to hospital and they will say you can't medicate yourself. And it drives me nuts because they say, I know they're overworked, and they say, we'll give you medication on time, and they're sometimes an hour late, and it's terrible. So I've actually made a hospital kit up with all this written down in it, so people can take it to hospital and they can know, and this, just know what, if we can't articulate, we must be off. And so just be aware of that. Medication on time. Be patient, because if a person's brain amnesic, they can't move fast. They'll get cross with this. That's the main things. Medication on time every time is really important. Thanks for that question. It's my pet peeve. Now everyone's finished. Okay, I'll just do a little ad. My book's for sale outside. $5 goes to the Parkinson's nurses from every sale. And thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Now that you're all sad, we've got a happy song to let you out. It's very catchy with the earworm, sorry. It's called Blame It on the Parkinsons.